we go. New chapter of New Game Plus. Achievement My Left Arm. And the quest coming to Ishgard, which is where we are heading now. After more cutscenes. And a bit more questing and story.
The dawn's light will shine again. So long as we have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything.
See, now here is the Alphino voice I recognise. This is a new voice actor, if you can't quite make it out. Obviously, Sam Riegel had other business that he had to go on to, and someone new took over Alphino's voice acting role, and they obviously carried it through all the way to the new expansions, I think. I don't think they've changed voice actor again for him.
You must go to Ishgard, as Tataru proposed. I will return to Uldar and set things right.
Pray, do not be so hasty, Master Alphino.
Orchefon's got the same voice actor, I think.
Lord Orchefon.
Full well do I understand your desire to clear your names. But now is not the time for drastic action. You yet have allies upon whom you can rely. There is no need to act alone.
The Lalafels say nothing, just dance around.
Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience.
I bring tidings. Count Edmont has decreed that the three of you be taken in as wards of House Fortin. Under our patronage, you shall be granted access to the city proper.
Woo! House Fortin.
Pray, consider our manor your new headquarters, from which you may gather information and plan how best to proceed. Needless to say, should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there.
Orchefon Fortin.
You are more than generous, my friend. On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your offer of hospitality.
The Count is a good man and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves.
To Ishgard, then. There we shall carry on the Scion's legacy. There we shall begin anew.
Here!
Oh. Little squeaky Tataru now. I must go on ahead and speak with the Count. Fear not, however, for everything has been arranged. The sentries at the gates of judgment have been informed of our decision. You need but state your names, and they will allow you to pass. My manservant shall be waiting for you at the city gates, ready to escort you to our manor, where we shall meet again. Until then. Did we do it? Have we got to the point where we can actually access the foundation and head heavensward? I fly my bed all the way into Ishgard. I believe I can. Whoosh. Wards of House Fortons. Ah, yes, you may pass. Proceed to Ishgard. We've done it. We've made it to the city. We've made it through Post-Realm Reborn and learned much of world lore. Iceheart is still on the loose, however. There are still many problems that rise. Oh, it's snowy here. Good thing I'm wrapped up all
And
warm.
so they came, at a friend's behest.
They've got coats like mine now. We're ready. Ready for winter weather.
Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood. With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came. To Ishgard, shining city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Kurthus. A great and proud nation, devoted to Halone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. The last bastion of the faith, her walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses. A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace. Through gates long closed, the warrior of light and her companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragonsong War they came, 3 weary travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change. Though none knew then how great.
The Memoirs of Count Edmond de Fortemps. Heaven's Word. We've done it. We're here. Lovely snow area. First things first. Aetheryte. Whoop. Now we can run back down here and talk with the House Fortemps manservant. Greetings, Mistress Newson. On behalf of House Fortemps, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars, if you all would come with me. Now, I don't want to head too far into this expansion without sorting out a few bits and pieces. Firstly, I need to sort, also Taint Misbehaving, is the level 50 White Mage quest that I have now unlocked because I have unlocked the Heavensward expansion. which means I can now do the level 50 and level 55 White Mage quests, because I am already level 55. It would also allow me to do... Oh, I've also passed 1 million gil, which I didn't realise. I would also be allowed to do all of the second level 50 botany quest and the level 50 to 80 or 50 to 60 Fisher quests. But I don't need to do any of that just yet, because what I actually need to do first, or what I actually want to do first, is the quest Inscrutable... What's it called? I'm going to quickly look it up. Final Fantasy 14... Oh, I don't want to use that tab, I want a different one. Final Fantasy 4... typing. 14 Inscrutable Tastes. That's the quest. So Inscrutable Tastes is from Morgaine in Foundation, which I am in. I require a level 50 Disciple of Land or Hand, which I have. Where is Morgaine? Foundation. Why don't we do this instead? Foundation X10Y10. And do I have to have completed... I have to have completed the Heavensward main scenario quest, The Better Half. Which the Better Half is... on the main quest line. And it is level 50. And I do potentially get a funny hat for it. So, I'm going to very quickly... I now have a goal of where I need to get to. Also, I realised I was just stood there with no shirt on my botanist. Not so good. Yeah. This is where she is. This is Morgaine, who we have to go to get the quest. But I cannot unlock it yet, because I am yet to complete the prerequisite quest of The Better Half. But Inscrutable Tastes, which is the quest I'm working towards. Hello, Shadow Wolf! We made it to Heavensward. We are in the Heavensward expansion. We are in Foundation, which is this amazing city. Incredibly religious, amazing city, as you can tell by the enormous church and the lovely area around. We have been invited into the city as emissaries of... or not emissaries, I guess we're technically emissaries. Honoured guests of House Fortoms, thanks to Lord Olchiffon. There we go, we can get a better look at the church. I also haven't been activating the Aethernet. So, new city, got to activate the Aethernet. I used the main Aetherite, so that's something. So I need to get to the quest Better Half, or The Better Half. So I have to do a couple of quests before I fully unlock the city. The Warrior of Light and her brave companions, walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. I cannot tell you how long I have waited for this day. Allow me to present to you my family home, Fortom's Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made. I'm correct, the better half is this little chunk of quests.
My lord, I have returned with the scions.
We get to meet
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
Count Edmond de Forton. I must perfect French accent.
I, Count Edmond de Forton, do bid you welcome.
Count Edmond de Forton.
As wards of House Forton, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
There we go. We are wards of House Forton.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
The honor is mine, Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
We did indeed kill a massive dragon on your bridge.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Yeah, we're being framed for assassinating the Sultana of Uldar. And so we are being hunted by one of the main cities. And we are being shepherded here to safety, effectively.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders.
Yeah.
Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
My brain is struggling to remember what the names of the four houses are. There's obviously Forton. There's Durandare. I think Durandare's one of the houses. I know Sir Emmerich isn't a member of a great house. So Emmerich isn't one of the names of the houses.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city? You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
Good. I will lovely and happily take a tour of the city. Taking in the sights. Me still dressed up in my outside gear. Though our friends in House Fortoms have been generous enough to extend us their protection, we must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. It is only proper that we learn about our new home, so that we might become more self-sufficient. I'll take a while to learn the lay of the land. I will take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and taverns. We'll need to know where to shop and where to hear small talk. It would seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I shall of course do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any questions you might have. Ah, but I grow forgetful in my dotage. There is something I must give you ere we part. Their documentation is in order, I trust? Yes, my lord. Are we getting Ishgardian visitors' visas? temporary residency visas. Oh, kind of. Those documents identify you as wards of House Forton. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House Forton. But let us hope it shall not come to that. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation that might compel us to invoke your name. Deacon, Tartaru, the city awaits. Let's go! Little Ellison child and 2 Lalafell. Off in the big city. This is your first time in our fest city. Pray permit me to show you to the Hoplon, from whence we may gaze upon the splendour of the Holy Vault. Though all other sights pale in comparison, it is only met that you see it first. I shall then show you around the Jewelled Crosier, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services, before descending to Foundation's apologies for that. Before descending to Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza. If there are no questions. Come on, Bitey Duckbill, let's go. I too wish to slide. Go, Bitey Duckbill, go. Oh, very talented, it can slide upstairs. We run towards the ever-looming grandeur of this enormous cathedral. I am very small in comparison. The Hoplon, so named for the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity. It is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Important place. Begging your pardon, the statue to the south. Are they, perchance, Thornton's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Arvano. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thordan I to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permitting, of course. Nidhogg isn't dead. Like, we and you both know, well, you might not know, but we know Nidhogg isn't dead. Because Estinian told us, the Azure Dragoon, who comes from your city, so at least some of your higher-ups know that Nidhogg isn't dead. Now then, if you would follow me to the Jewelled Crosier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elise, our Master of the Markets. We'll go with Elise. Maybe it's Elise. More pronounced. There wasn't no, there wasn't, that's fine. Making sure I didn't miss any Aethernets. St. Reynolds Cathedral. If I remember correctly, that cathedral is also a schoolhouse. Or down here is a schoolhouse. One of the two. I think it's that cathedral. Also entails a schoolhouse. I was running the wrong way. The markets are down here. While I'm running past Ethernet shard. And use the summoning bell to set my retainer on another job. Hello, Alice. Hello, Alice. Well, you're clearly not locals or travelling peddlers, which makes you all... Ah, wards of House Fortoms. How very interesting. Count Edmund has granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. Accordingly, we will have need of sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance. That is, of course, assuming you are content to accept the custom of foreigners, which... should you be uncomfortable? Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armour, accoutrements, medicines, materials, whatever your desire, it can be found in the Crosier. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall soon see. I like she's just stood next to a kettle on an open fire. It's like, pff. Tea? Our next destination is the Aetherite Plaza in Foundation. If everyone is ready. Tartaru just being like, hi. I too shall wave goodbye before I run away. Whoosh. We've got arms mender here. I will quickly use his service to repair all my various gear. And then continue on the run forward. Whee. Down the big curved stairway to the Foundation. Much running required. But when I've set up the Aethernet, there will be a lot less running required. Eesh. And here we have Foundation's Aetherite Plaza. If you have yet to attune to the Aetherite, it would be wise to do so now. Luckily for you, I already did. 46,800 experience just for being shown around the town. And this is the better half, which is the quest that we need to complete to unlock the various side missions around the town. So we can do this and then we can go and do some other side bits and pieces. As for our next destination, perhaps we should decide together. What else can be found nearby? The Skysteel Manufactory stands to the west. There our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for use against the dragons. The Holy Stables, where chocobos are trained for war, also lie in that direction. To the north and east can be found the congregation of our knights most heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best you avoided that area. Why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphino. Hold your nose when you pass the broom, little lord. A delicate flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. You misjudge me, sir, for I am no lord, but a humble traveller. Come to see the sights, have you? Take a turn down the Hoplan and gawp at the statues. Well, if you've a mind to learn how better half lives, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Knight, if your nursemaid'll let you. My humblest apologies, Master Alphino. Pray, pay that drunken lout no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see the Forgotten Knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Deacon. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, who can say what we might learn of recent events? Then I'm coming too. Let's all go grab a drink in the tavern. Right? I guess that's what we're doing. I'm going to go a little bit of a roundabout way because I want to unlock the Aethernet for the broom as well. Which I think is just down here. Yeah, there it is. So I can attune to the broom, which is the not so nice area of the city. The little slums zone, because they are at war. And some people do suffer for it. But then we can take this route round here and up this way into the rear entrance to the Forgotten Knight. Here we go. Must say this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her more notable establishments. Master Gibralont? Gibralont. Just Gibralont will do. And I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations, but it's a decent food and drink you're after. You could do much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see. Yes, little Tegan will get drunk very quickly. I suspect you're... judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but note a difference between those who frequent the upper and lower floors. Spotted that, did you? Aye, up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth, dropping in on their way to and from somewhere else. Regulars, maybe, but not locals. Folks from the broom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits. All quality, mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves. You speak of the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the broom, if I may ask? Because when the weather's foul and the broom rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the broom that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and their temple knights. More than a few people are still sore about that, mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below, and something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I shall take your words at heart, sir. Master Alphino, I think it would be best if we returned to Fortaunt Manor. You go on ahead without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Miss Tartaroo, I'm afraid that is out of the question. My lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place, least of all a maiden. What are you up to, Tartaroo? Look around, Alphino. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the news, for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please. Do you know how often I looked after the waking sands at the Rising Stones by myself? If I had a gill for every unwelcome caller I'd driven away, I'd be richer beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then. Tartaroo, Tegan, and I, That settles it then, Tartaroo. Tegan and I shall return to the manor, but for now, contact me by link pearl if you require assistance. I will. She's just there like, ooh, drink time. Bye. Have fun. Don't get too drunk. And find out all the cool information. Oh yes, gil is the currency, of which I am actually fairly rich in now. I have 1 million gil. Although you can get much, much more. I won't be drinking, I'll be fine. I'm leaving Tartaroo there to get drunk. And I need to speak with Edmond at House Fortin. I think I grabbed all the Aethernets down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. There's a couple more back in the north. In the upper district. Oh, I'm far from rich. In this game, the smallest sized house that you can buy, I think comes at like 3 million. Unless you can manage to get a bargain. You can obviously buy, there are apartments, which I might be able to get one for 1 million in all honesty. But then I wouldn't be able to furnish it because I've got no crafters or gatherers and I've got none of the materials. Various other things. Like, that's literally to buy an empty plot of land. Like, a small plot of land costs you 3 million. And it's by auction. Like, you don't just get to go, I put down 3 million, this plot of land is mine. It's I put down 3 million and hope no one outbids me before the timer runs out. But there tends to be some empty slots because not all of them get bought up, which means there is potential for cheaper options because some of them can drop slightly in price over time if they get left empty for too long. And most guilds tend to be able to buy houses fairly easily because obviously you get 3 players to Heaven's Ward like I have, and that's 3 million. That's a house. You get a 4th player, which I think you need 4 players to build a guild. You get 4 players to Heaven's Ward. That's a house and most of the interior, I think. For the common area, anyway. Or possibly not the interior design, but the plot of land and then the building itself. And some of the interior stuff. We should make a guild. That's why you need to get on. If you do buy the game, we will make a free company. Welcome, Mistress Newsom. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yep, I have come back to Voltomp Manor to talk to Count Edmond again. And finish off this quest. Tell us then, Master Alphino, does Ishgard meet with your expectations? That which I imagined pales in comparison to the reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took, and when those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns in Foundation, I understood how easily that history could end in tragedy. That makes sense. I mean, as you can see, I mostly play this game while I'm doing streaming. I do have other games, and I do intend to drop in streams of other games, but obviously my goal was to get to Heaven's Ward as quickly as I could, so that I can unlock the quest after this one, and do all the bunch of side quests that are built up after this one. So I'm almost there, and then I can start streaming other games while also just playing through Heaven's Ward. I'm not sure. I might play some more Armello. I did some of that before. I've obviously got Magic Arena that I can keep jumping back to occasionally. I've got Tiny Glade. I've also got that, which I've streamed. I obviously have... we had an announcement for the next set of Teamfight Tactics. I must call it Team Fortress Tactics then. Which is a League of Legends Auto Battler spin-off. And obviously I did a drawing stream in which I drew a PNG tuber for Chris, who is the friend of mine, that I will be streaming with on my channel to tutor them through how TFT works. So that will be a stream that I will do. I've also got a few other games that I'm kind of working on plans for in the future. But most of them are like little casual fun games. Obviously I am also looking at when I complete the story of Final Fantasy XIV, which obviously is still a long way off, because I've only just finished the first base game, and I'm now in the expansion number 1 of 5, because there's this, which is Heaven's Word, there's Stormblood, there's Shadowbringers, there's Endwalker, and then there's Dawn Trail, which is the start of the second arc of the game. And by the time I get there, they might be on the next one, because they're already soon to be bringing out patch 7.2, which is the second part of 5 that will be post Dawn Trail, which I have not played any of. I have just played up to the Dawn Trail story, so anything past that will be brand new to me when I get there in streaming, so it should be good. But yeah, when I've reached that and done a bunch of the side stuff, I can stream Final Fantasy a bit more casually and do like another big story game. I'm not sure what yet, but I will keep my ears and eyes open for something fun that I could potentially stream with someone else. Maybe an RPG, maybe an MMO, maybe, I don't know, an adventure fantasy game. It's sort of where my brain tends to want to go for story stuff. Just because fantasy world building tends to be very robust. But yeah, there's plenty of options. I have no idea what it will be, but there's potential I can start something before I even get to the end of this game. The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children, were given no quarter. Have I heard of this new game called Split Fiction? I've heard of it. I haven't seen any of it other than like little clips that I've seen where it seems interesting. Like the co-op aspect of like cooperative co-op I quite like. It's just obviously I would need to find someone to play it with and would actually need to get the game, and I don't even know how much it is. So heard of it, haven't really looked at getting into it, if I'm honest. Sir Emmerich has ordered his knights to strengthen our defences, and each house has been called upon to lend what support it can. There is much to be done, yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Mayhaps we could be of assistance, my lord. After all you have done, after all you have done for us, we would welcome an opportunity to repay your kindness. Yeah, we would. That is a most generous offer, Master Alphino. Sounds like it's kind of up my alley, but you gotta find someone to play with. Yeah, exactly. And I haven't even looked at price. Like, there's a potential that even if I find someone to play with, I look at the price of it and go, that's a lot. While I've still got Final Fantasy to play, that I could play with people when they join. Buying another game is a bit like, that's a cost I can't really be affording just yet. There might be potential somewhere in the future to do it, but it might not be for a few months at the very least. That is the most generous offer, Master Alphino. You are guests in my home, to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation, yet, or let or lean. Costs are really bad, yep. That's why I kind of prefer playing little indie games. Obviously, Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering are not hardly indie games. But I prefer like the cheaper, more story-driven, weird little games. They tend to be just as amazing, like musically wise, art-wise, that sort of stuff. They tend to be more creative, rather than like big AAA games that are just like, we've churned out tight, well-polished graphics from people you will recognize. And it's like, okay, that's all well and good. If the people I recognize are good at what they do and what they do I enjoy, then I see no problem with paying for the name. But I hardly follow people in the industry, so I'm paying for a name that I don't recognize in the hopes that it's the style they do is something I enjoy. Which with Final Fantasy XIV, I've played it for 15 years, almost. I know I like it. So it's very easy for me to keep paying for this to be like, I know the game is amazing, I know I love all the music, I know I love the story, I know I love all the side quests. The actual gameplay itself I really enjoy, so it's very easy for me to be like, I just keep putting down subscription to keep playing this game. Yeah, exactly. Like, if a company like Naughty Dog dropped that's a name that I know, if they were to drop a new game and be like, this is something we've never done before, I'd be like, but you're good at making games, so I'm willing to give it a go if it's the sort of game that I think I'll like. Whereas if it, like, throw random words out, as a name title, that company, whatever it might be, some unknown indie company, goes, we're making a new game, this is what it is, I'll go, that sounds cool. But I'm hardly going to drop AAA title money on a game from a company that I don't know to a game that I don't know, made by people that I don't know. And while I'm not well versed in the industry, if a new game comes out and you were to say it's by this company, there's a high chance that I might just be like, I kind of recognize that. Therefore, I kind of can look them up and be like, okay, these are the games they've done. Whereas an indie developer, you can kind of look them up and be like, this is their first game. Or, okay, they worked on this other game, which either I really liked or got bad reviews. And that's very much if an indie company is making a second game, often it won't be because their first game was terrible. Like the creators of Bad Rats, for example, have not made a second game as far as I'm aware. That game was just not playable. And so the creators of it very much didn't go anywhere. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't make stuff anymore. Anyway, nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great, and if you're willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. Good. What would you ask of us? From what I have heard, you are an intelligent and persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contracts, and so on. As for you, Miss Mooson, I could ask for no one better than the storied veteran such as yourself, a woman with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed, to aid Artorial and Emmanuelane, Yep, in their duties. I beg your pardon? I am more than capable of carrying out my duties by myself. I have no need of our honoured guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would say no when a famous hero offered to do his work? Yeah, you can kind of tell what these two brothers are like already. Hold your tongues. By the Fury, the two of you will conduct yourselves with dignity befitting your station, and show Mistress Mewson the respect she deserves. This is the woman who slew Gaius van Baelsar, and half a dozen primals besides. She's not here to steal your glory, or serve as your little errand girl. I know the word little wasn't there, but I am little, so it makes sense. If you could pardon their impropriety, Mistress Mewson, I should be much obliged if you would lend my sons a helping hand. Sure. My thanks. Fury willing, they may even learn something from you. Yeah. Why does he walk out carrying his walking stick like a gun? Twould seem we have not want for employment over the coming days, though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for appearance's sake. In truth, he is glad of this opportunity to put us to work. By granting us patronage, House Fultoms has taken a tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large, the Count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. And so he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, whilst simultaneously keeping his sons in check. 'Tis an arrangement we may benefit from in unexpected ways. My own duties may feasibly bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you go about helping our two lords in their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard, mayhap even new allies. Yes, the more I think on it, the more confident I am that by furthering their goals we shall further our own. And I get a new hat. Item level 130. Item level 115. It's actually worse than my current hat. Well. Unexpected. The Ironworks gear is good. And I only have half of it. I still need to get the shoes, the leggings, and the gloves. So yeah, this is another point where the quest line splits off into two, where you can pick either the older son or the younger son, and you can go off with them to help them with their duties. Obviously, when we pick up the main story again, that's what we will be going on with. I'm quite happy for people to pitch which son they feel I should go with.